How's everybody doing today? Hope you're doing well. Well, this is my food plot update. Um, from January till probably mid-May, end of May, somewhere right in there. We had over a foot of rain, and so it never got to a point over there in the food plot that it dried out enough where I could really get in there, work it. So it was just an entire mud pit, all this time. And so I just kind of let it go. Good thing is that the grass has just flourished over there. And I don't really have any significant weeds over there. It's mainly all grass. Um, so I'm kind of surprised by that because last year at this time, I think I had weeds that were, 8, 10 foot tall. And I don't have any of that. In fact, I think the grass over there looks better than what I have in my own yard, and it's just wild grass out there. So, so now my plan is just to try something out, try a new experiment. Um, I'm going to go over there, and of course, as you see, I got the coyote out in the background. I'm just going to use my heavy duty dethatcher here and try to just break the soil up just a little bit, just to scar it. And that way, I'm just going to go ahead and throw some seed out there and see what happens. Um, but by doing the thing with the dethatcher and scarring the soil up, it's going to probably get better seed to ground contact, and hopefully that will work. But again, I am no expert at this. I'm probably below amateur and doing a food plot. So uh, we'll just see what happens. And the seed that I'm throwing out, it's just a mixed bag of whatever. In fact, I threw uh, a bunch of vegetable seeds from when my wife ordered this like mix match of seeds for our garden. And we basically just picked out stuff that we knew we wouldn't eat. So I'm like throwing some kale over there, collards, eggplant, um, beets, turnips, stuff like that, which we knew we weren't going to plant in our own garden. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'll just throw it over there and see what happens. So there's going to be a bunch of that in there. There's going to be some, I think, some clover, some winter grasses. I think I even threw some wax beans in there. Like I said, I'm no expert and I have extra seeds, so I'm thinking, why not? Just throw it over there, and if it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, I'm not really out anything because we're not going to end up eating a lot of that stuff. So, but I wanted to kind of go over the tool that I'm using today. So let me lower you down here a little bit, and I might have to angle the camera here. So basically, what I'm using is this dethatcher here, and it's from CMP Attachments, and I ordered this through Good Works Tractor. It's a great company. If you have a chance to, um, want to buy any products, definitely check them out. I've bought this through them. I believe I bought the quick hitch through them, my flail mower, and I think that's it for right now. But they are great to work with. I have to say that Courtney, who's the owner of the company, he runs a great business over there, and I can't say enough about him. In fact, when I ordered this dethatcher, it didn't come with one of these bars, and he uh, CC'd me to an email to one of his employees saying, "Hey, let's get Travis taken care of. Let's get this out, ASAP." And I think within 2 or 3 days, I had this bar. So, um, and it's been, they've been great. Uh, so I would definitely and highly recommend, if you're looking for products to go on your tractor. Also, check out the YouTube channel, and because that's how I have found out a lot of things that I want to either get for my tractor, or there might be some things that's on there. It's like, well, I really don't need something like that, but it gives me an idea. But anyways, what I want to go over real quick is using a quick hitch with your dethatcher. Now, almost all the times I use my quick hitch with this dethatcher. There's been one time that I didn't. I was just being lazy that day for some reason, and I cooked the dethatchers directly to my 3-point links. And what ended up happening when I was going backwards, I was being a little bit more aggressive, and ended up this rolled under the top link, and this rolled under the two side links, and basically got stuck. And this piece kind of bent one of the lock block tubes on my hydraulic top link. Lucky enough, it didn't do any damage. It just has a little bend in it. But the biggest damage was, I believe, this bracket bent completely off. This bracket, as you can see, there's probably, well, no, this bracket is the one that bent completely. See, actually, I have a good friend that he's a welder, and he was able to weld this back on for me. But this bracket popped completely off, and we had to sand it or grind it all down, make it all bare metal again, and then he was able to weld that back on, and I repainted it to protect from the elements and all that. But it did bend this bracket here a little bit, but overall it still works just like it was brand new now. And but that's something to kind of take into consideration if you buy one of these heavy duty dethatchers, is you more than likely want to use it with a quick hitch. And what's nice about this, with the quick hitch, is that you can use it also to attach to you know box grader or scrape blade, or a mower or anything like that. Not that I'm saying there are a lot of attachments out there that also might not be quick hitch compatible. So that might be something that, before you buy an implement, check and see if it is quick hitch compatible. That way, you can use this instead of trying to move and be perfect when you're trying to hook up your uh, attachment and just using your 3-point links. I like using this where I just back up, get the angle just right, and lift up, and then it just picks it up right off the ground, and it locks it in with these here, and then your top pin here is hooked into your link, your top link here. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and get my seed ready. Like I said, I'm just going to throw a mixed match of stuff out there and see what takes. So let's head over to the other side of the property. Well, I've made it over here to the food plot, and again, sorry that I wasn't able to really work on it like I wanted to this spring. But again, it was just so muddy and everything that it wouldn't have probably turned out right, and it would just probably made a situation even worse. So, but I just wanted to kind of let you take a glance here and actually see what, after killing off all the weeds earlier in the year, as you saw in that very first video that I did with the experimental food plot, it's pretty much just all grass here now. And so I'm very surprised how well that this all took. And but again, I don't want to grow grass here. I want to grow a food plot here. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dethatcher, and I've cut this grass probably a week or two ago, and I cut it really short. I used the flail mower and just really cut it short. And as you can see, it's already starting to grow up pretty good now. But what I'd like to do is take that dethatcher and really rough up the soil a little bit. There's some thick thatch here from when I did cut the grass, so I kind of want to get some of that out of here. That way I'm going to get good seed to soil contact. And today is August 7th, and we're going to be expecting the remnants of Hurricane Debbie to pretty much start getting the outer bands here, I believe, later on today. I'm not sure exactly what time, about, I'm guessing 3, 4, 5 o'clock, something like that. And then we're supposed to get the bulk of it tomorrow. So I'm thinking if I really, work the soil up good, get this seed out, then it's going to get, a really good rain, and hopefully, this ground is super, still pretty moist. I mean, it's not like hard or anything like that. So, so I'm hoping I should get a pretty good result. Again, I'm an amateur at this, and I don't know if it's going to work or not, but sometimes you just got to try things and see how it works. So, but I see that there's a few branches that fell from a tree, so I'm gonna clean that up, and then I'm gonna get on the tractor and I'm gonna work the ground a little bit, and then once I get done doing that, then I'll go ahead and start putting some seed out. So let's get to it. Start out by just not as an aggressive angle, just to see what it'll do. So let's give it a shot here. As you can see, it's kind of tearing that ground up, getting some of that dead grass out too. And I'll probably go over this a few times. It's not a one-time pass kind of thing, so. And I usually lift up the thatcher when I'm making my turns, just because it just puts too much emphasis on one side, and it's possible that's when you could bend those tines up. But so far, I'm kind of happy how it's doing. And I think with any attachment, you have to kind of just play with your settings. How deep to go, how aggressive in an angle do you want to be. I'm doing that all the time, especially with my flail mower. It's never going to be exactly perfect when I first put it on and start off going with it. So I'm always kind of making minor adjustments here and there and see what's going to work best. But that definitely is an advantage of having that hydraulic top link, because I don't have to hop on and off if I want to change the angle. I'm just pushing a lever here right next to me. So It makes it a little bit easier. And I'll have to say again, that was another good reason why I went ahead and bought the SE model of this Coyote, is that the rear hookups for your hydraulics, your rear remotes, they come standard with it, and that's the main reason why I really want to just head and upgrade, because if I was to pay somebody to add those rear remotes on for me afterwards, it would cost just as much, if not more, to add that later on. And you go ahead and buy it, and I believe even Coyote now has a deal going on where it's the same deal that I got, where it's 84 months, no interest. So if you just kind of figure out what your monthly payment would be buying, just a standard CK 4020 as compared to the SE, and if your payment's only, $20 more or so, then to me it's definitely worth going ahead and get the SE model. Same thing with getting the front remote for doing my grapple work, the third function. It costs like $1,200 to have that added on when I bought the tractor. But at the same time, all right, take $1,200, divide that out over 7 years, 12 months, really doesn't significantly impact your payment a whole lot. Whereas if you go and had it added on later, after you bought your tractor and all that, one, it's probably going to cost you more, and two, you got to pay that outright, and you're going to, especially if you put it on a credit card or something like that, you're going to have to pay interest on it. Whereas with this, you don't pay any interest, and it's part of your payment. And I think it might have made my payment go up an extra, I don't know, I'm guessing like $10 a month, if that. I didn't really do the math a whole lot, but I know it wasn't really a significant difference. So I always suggest to people, when you're buying a tractor and they have a really good, incentive plan going at the time, like I had, definitely get what you want. I've had a couple of people ask me, well, why don't you just buy a bigger tractor than what I have here? And my thing is that for what I use my tractor for, I really don't need a bigger tractor. I'm not doing really heavy duty work, and everything that I do with my tractor, this tractor handles just fine. Now my 1025R, it just wasn't big enough, that's for sure, with everything I want to do, especially like doing the grapple and that kind of work where I'm wanting to lift real heavy logs, and also the flail mower and things like that. I definitely needed a bigger tractor, but you definitely want to, if you're looking into buying a tractor, think of everything that you could possibly use that tractor for. And then I've been told, go one step bigger. And so I knew that my 1025R wasn't big enough. And knowing everything that I wanted to do, I should have bought a bigger tractor to begin with, and I didn't. So that's why I settled on this one, because I have more experience with using a tractor, what I'm going to use it for, what implements I could possibly purchase in the future. I knew I wanted a tractor that would be able to handle pretty much everything that I might need. Now, for some unknown seen reason that I might need a bigger tractor every so once in a while, I'm lucky enough I have a neighbor. He has a 4 Series John Deere that would handle definitely anything else that I might need it for. But again, as for what I'm doing around this property, this should be big enough. Yeah, it's doing some good work now. It's really getting that a good soil to come up, getting that grass that I've cut. It's taking that off. So it should work out. We'll see. Well, now that I've gone north and south, I'm going to try to go east and west here. Probably should have cut this grass just one more time before I did this. But again, like I said, we have that hurricane that's kind of coming this way. And I really wanted to get some soil down here. So this was a good opportunity, knowing that I was going to get some rain and it won't be dry, because it was crazy. As soon as end of May got here, first part of June got here, we didn't get any rain for probably a good 6 weeks. Now we might have got a spot here, a spot there, a storm that might have popped up, but for the most part, we didn't get any rain, period. So it's just been an odd summer. Lucky enough, though, we have been getting quite a bit of rain now here for the last couple weeks, and so it's really made the soil loosen up, and it's not compact or anything like that. So, but that's pretty much a reason also why I really want to get out here and just, again, this is experimenting. I'm not even sure this is going to work or not, but I figure I may as well try, see what happens, learn from it, and just go from there. I mean, that's all you can do sometimes, is just try things out, see if it works. If it does, great. Keep going from there. But if it doesn't work, then you step back and say, all right, what could I have done different? And just keep learning. That's the big thing that I'm trying to do out of all this, is just keep learning, see what does work and what doesn't work. So, but now I'm going to get on the tractor now that I've gone north and south on this, and now I'm going to go east and west, and really just like I said, I'm just scarring up the ground, and then again I'm picking up this thick, loose thatchy grass that I don't want it to cover the soil, and so by getting that thick, thatchy grass up, it's going to expose that dirt and everything, and hopefully it'll get really good contact with that soil. Let that seed work its way down in there. And once I get the seed out, what I might do is just drive the tractor back and forth over it and just kind of push it down a little bit, get down into the soil. That way it's not just sitting on top. And of course, being out here, the birds, squirrels and all that, they can just come along and pick up the seed and eat it right off the ground. So what I might do, once I spread out the seed, then I'm going to take my tractor and just go back and forth on it. I thought about running over and get my neighbor's Cultipacker, but with this being such a small area, it'd probably be easier just to run it over with the tractor, and that should push it down just enough. But again, experimenting, getting some seat time in. That's what I enjoy. I just enjoy being on my tractor and playing. I have to probably say I speak for quite a few people that have tractors. They just enjoy getting that seat time in. I'd rather be out here riding around on my tractor than sitting in my house, and which is what I'm going to have to be doing tomorrow. I won't be sitting. I'm sure I'll have stuff to do, but 9 times out of 10, I'd rather be out here doing this stuff. And I don't know if I I know I didn't put it on a video or not, but I had put that stuff down called Plot Start, and basically what it is like putting lime down, but it's a liquid form, because I know that this soil, the pH probably isn't the greatest. So I wanted to put something down to really help with the pH levels and hopefully, break up the soil a little bit. So, and it seemed to work really good, because I tell you what, this grass took off. Once I put that stuff on there, and I think we had a couple of rainy days right after I put it in, and it seemed like it really worked its way into the soil, and this grass just took off. I was amazed at how well this has done with just grass. And I didn't add any grass seed or anything like that to it. I just sprayed it because I wanted just bare soil, and so I'm kind of shocked at how well that this plot kind of just took off. And again, I'm just kind of going back and forth here with just kind of scarring it up, getting the loose grass up, just making it where those seeds can really get on that soil. It'll just be interesting to see how this hodgepodge of seeds that I have, that I throw out, actually see what works. Once I do this, I'll probably go one more time north and south. Person that on YouTube that I've been following quite a bit is Dr. Grant Woods. He has a YouTube channel called Growing Deer TV, and he's one that I've gotten a lot of good information from, and with he suggests you don't have to even tear up your land. He doesn't believe in disking your land or anything like that. And I just kind of felt like I needed to do it, just because this is, such untouched soil and everything. But I can see his reasoning is, the soil here is such an ecosystem, and when you really put that much of tearing the land up and everything, you're really breaking that ecosystem down, and you're taking the nutrients that soil has sometimes, and you're just disturbing it. So I'm thinking I probably won't till or anything like that again. He believes in prescribed fire, and so I might try that out too sometime. And just first you put some herbicide down, kill everything, and then come in here and just burn all that you've killed off. And you're kind of doing some good things for the environment because you're uh, putting nutrients back in the ground by burning it, and you're not breaking that soil up. I still got to get this stump out. There's a good sized stump right there. Looks like an old cedar tree. So I need to get that worked out at some point. Alright, well, I'm going to keep on going here. I'm going to go north and south now, again, and I'll get back with you. Okay, I went ahead and, like I said, I dethatched it really good and really worked up the soil. Got a lot of uh, dead grass and everything picked up, so it's really exposed a lot of dirt. And again, we'll see if this works or not. You know, there's no guarantees if this is going to work or not. But I'm using a spreader here. This one I believe I picked up at Tractor Supply. I think it's called Groundwork. I know the really good one is the Earthway spreaders, but I've never used one of these before, and this was a pretty decent price. And so I figured I'd just give it a shot, see what I could do with it. See if I can get you down here and have a look at what seed what it looks like that I'm going to put into the ground here. So as you can see, it's just a mixed match of all kinds of things. Um, so, like I said, I'm not really sure of what is all in this, but again, I figure why not just give it a try and see what happens. So going to do that, and this is the first time I'm using this, so it's going to be interesting to kind of get it calculated as to how much seed it's going to put out. So we'll make adjustments as I go and see how it works. I'm probably going to be pretty heavy with it just because I know that there's going to be a lot that's probably not going to get out, or make good soil contact. So I figure I just go heavy with it and see how it does. And I'm hoping that next week sometime I have stuff growing out here. I have to say this it throws the seed out pretty good. Definitely get good coverage with this thing. Like I said, I'm going to go pretty heavy with this and just see what happens. Now this whole bag wasn't full when I started. It's maybe a third or so. So it looks like I've put a good amount or the right amount in there to cover up this area pretty good. All right. It took what, less than 5 minutes? So that kind of gives you an idea how big this plot is. I think there's still a little bit left in the bag here, but maybe a handful. What I might do is just throw the rest out with my hand here, or dump it out. All right. Well, I think that worked pretty good. I'm kind of surprised that it worked that well. Um, I know that it probably looked like it was coming out pretty fast with some of it, but I had some big seeds. Like, this is some it's some type of bean, and so I had to make sure that the gate was open far enough to get those beans out. But that's why I think I threw a lot of extra small stuff in there, because that way it would kind of disperse it a little bit better. But again, I don't know if it's going to work or not. We'll see if it does. So, but I'm going to get back on the tractor now. I'm just going to ride back and forth a little bit, kind of push those seeds down into the soil, because I know once I get out of here, I have a feeling that the birds are really going to get in this area, not just because of the seed, but by stirring up this ground enough. I was seeing, grasshoppers and earthworms and all kinds of bugs just crawling all over the ground, because I'm really disturbing it and breaking it up. And I know as soon as I get out of here, the birds are just going to come in here and probably just start picking at the insects, but probably taking the seeds too. So I want to try to get those seeds kind of pushed down and get them into the ground. And like I said, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, like I said, maybe in a week or so, I'll come back out here and maybe there might be a little sprouts of stuff. I don't know. Um, it'll be interesting and surprising um, to see what might might take. And so we'll see. I might have to do this one more time if this doesn't take, because I know it's a little early to do a fall food plot yet, because it still gets pretty warm. But I figure, if this works and some of it, takes off, then what I might do for the fall food plot is come back in, kill everything, get to the thatcher, just break up the ground really good, throw some more seed out, maybe even do that plot start again, spray that on there. Um, we'll see. But I haven't put like any fertilizer down yet, and I might do that today too. I actually have some granule fertilizer, and I might even put some of that out, because with this rain coming in, it'll also help, really get it down into the soil. So, well, let me hop back on the tractor here. I'm not even going to record that, because all that's going to do is just show me riding back and forth, just pressing the seed down. So I think I'm going to cut it here, and I'll keep you updated on the food plot. Um, again, I don't know if this will work or not. We'll just take a chance and see, and if it doesn't work, I got to change my plan and try to figure something else out. But thanks for following. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Well, I said the video was over there just for a second, but I went ahead and went back and forth with the tractor and everything. And then just for, again, experiment, I put my dethatcher down, and I didn't put it down, where it was, super aggressive or anything like that. What I ended up doing is just barely putting it down where it was touching the ground, but it was just moving the dirt a little bit. And it seemed to work pretty good, where it was covering the seeds up. And now I am still seeing, a few of those white beans. I think I showed you uh, earlier, but for the most part, by putting that dethatcher down, and like I said, I probably put it halfway down compared to when, I was out here really, disturbing the soil and getting the dead grass off and all that. With this, like I was barely getting any grass pulled up with it, but it was just enough that it was moving the dirt and covering those seeds up. So we'll see if that works. You know, it it might work, it might not, but I figure it's better than just seed sitting on top of the soil, because, like I said, the tractor might have did some good with just riding over it back and forth, but I think by putting that dethatcher down, like I said, I think it worked a little bit better, because, like I said, it was just moving a little bit of soil, and I believe it covered up the seeds pretty good. So, but as you can see from the skies, it's starting to get dark here and everything. Again, it's that storm's going to be coming in here, and like that was kind of the reason why I really wanted to get the seed out here, because it'll give it a good rain, and it shouldn't wash them away, wash the seeds away. I'm guessing it shouldn't, just because with the grass being here too, it should get caught up in that grass, and but again, I don't know. The only place I think that it might get washed out is down in that small corner right over in that area. That's where the lowest part of this food plot is, and the ground is kind of sloped from here and goes down that way. So if we get any significant heavy rain, it might wash the seeds out from that area, but we'll just have to wait and see. Um, if nothing comes up, I won't be disappointed, just because this was a kind of a spur of the moment, and thinking, well, let's just go out and throw something and see what happens, and I don't know. Again, if there's people out there that has any suggestions or comments or anything like that, definitely feel free to put them below, because I'm just learning how to do this stuff, and I don't have anyone around me that does this kind of type of food plot stuff. Um, you know, so I'm kind of learning as I go, and just watching other people on YouTube, and just trying to pick up things from them. But again, usually those people that I watch, they live in different parts of the country, so I can get some of their ideas, but sometimes they might not apply to being down here in the South. So anybody that's in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, uh, even maybe Tennessee, a little bit of Virginia. If you guys are having successful food plots, definitely leave some comments below, and give me some advice. So, but wind's starting to pick up here, so I'm gonna call this the end, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya.